When I was a junior in high school and going through bouts of depression, my mom had sent me a quote by someone whose name I cannot remember now, but the quote itself said, "My favorite Disney character, Daisy Duck, because she goes after what she wants and deserves." And how is this relevant to today's podcast? So I was on a call 2 days ago with a woman who was trying to recruit me for a coaching program. And as she was asking me all these questions, she had asked me what it is I wanted to do with these degrees I planned on getting in the future. And for those of you who don't know, there has been a lot of contemplation of what it is I wanted to do. And I eventually, I'll get to that later. But anyway, she asked me what I planned on getting with my master's, a second master's, and eventually a doctorate. And I told her straight up to get credibility in what I do. And that is actually the first time I was stopped to think that maybe I was going for them for the wrong reason. To have myself go into debt that was not smart. To have control over basically no outcome. And to just work for someone for the rest of my life. I knew I did not want that. Some people pursue an advanced degree because they want to accelerate in their career, which is the right reason. But the science behind the fact that I wanted to pursue something like Science-y was just to prove to my freshman year of college self that she can do science. And let me tell you, that's not a good reason. And also, I convinced myself that my writing career was going nowhere. Not true. And I remember telling my boyfriend that, and I almost said I thought my lousy writing career was going nowhere. But then I stopped to think this morning, as I remember that conversation, it was like, what's so lousy about it? I mean, I've been told by a bunch of employers that I've been overqualified, and I'm not bragging here, but it's not lousy. I mean, I wouldn't be continuing my blog, the April Diaries, and this series of how to access your goddess potential if I still believed it being my writing career was going nowhere. And okay, this is where I get to the thing I was going to go into. So yesterday I had made the mistake of putting my size 8 foot in my mouth by announcing that I wasn't back going to insert Ivy League school here to rekindle my master's degree. And unfortunately that can't happen for another year because I then realized there's no way I can afford this right now. And if I didn't believe that I was worthy of a possible degree at insert Ivy League school here, or any of them for that matter, would I have gone for it? And I talked to a good friend of mine. Hi, Katerina, this one's for you. And she told me that setbacks are good for redirection. Slowly but surely, I myself am reprogramming my mind to thinking that I am in fact worthy of any degree or anything else for that matter, even if I choose to go back to Emerson to pursue an MFA instead of finishing the MA. And Katerina then asked me, "What are you hoping to gain?" And I told her I gained this particular mindset. Yes, I had activated my goddess potential once again after a day of just feeling like a failure. And that's not good. So my point is, if you always wanted to do something but never believed you were worthy of it, it being a law degree, a PhD, or any advanced degree, anything at all that includes love, money, abundance, success. And another fact is, you don't need one degree on top of another just to feel worthy or credible. And this woman who I spoke to 2 days ago made me realize that, and it almost brought me to tears because it took God knows how long to realize that I am, in fact, credible as a coach, as a writer, as anything at all. And come to think of it, I think I'm like pursuing like one degree after another based on trauma. And this trauma stems from the fact that when I was in high school, a senior in high school, I applied to 9 of the most competitive schools in the country. And no, they were not all Ivies, but they were pretty competitive. And I didn't get into any of them. And my mom had told me, I think it was like a month ago, that she had a meeting with my school, and they basically told her that she being me, could not handle basically being at any of these schools I applied to. And my mom goes, "How do you know?" And she basically said, like, it's true that any student can adapt to any environment they're in. And it's like, don't blame the student. And that trauma had continued on to basically where I am now. And where I am now obviously changed. Sorry, I'm literally pulling things out of my butt at this point, but it's basically just like sorry, I'm trying to think here, but it's basically like trauma-induced like self-sabotage, if that makes any sense at all. But here's the thing, I am worthy as is, and so are you, my dear, regardless of how you identify, LGBTQ, BIPOC, or anything else. You are worthy, and you are absolutely worthy of believing in your worth, if that makes any sense at all. And even when you don't feel like you're worthy, you are. I mean, you just gotta excavate it. Like Michelangelo once said, God, I can't remember this quote now, but it's essentially like the marble statue is already in the marble. Sorry if I just butchered that quote severely, but it's true. I mean, your marble statue is already within you, and it's up to you to excavate it, and it's also up to you to just like paint your goddess portrait of yourself. And with that being said, this has been today's podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I am posting a new episode every Tuesday and Thursday from now on, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.